Hi everyone, I'm MaryAnn. I'm a visual artist and voice coach from Singapore, currently in Singapore, and welcome to day 97 of my 100-day Live Your Dreams vlog series. So if you are someone who has a dream and you want to make it come true and you're not quite sure how to get started, or you started taking action but you're feeling confused and stuck and you don't know if this is really the right thing for you or not, well, I have been on this journey for many years now and I know exactly what these feelings are like and how confusing it can be. So I'm here to share whatever I've learned on my journey so far in the hopes that it can help you better frame what it is that you're going through, such that you can start taking action towards making that dream of yours come true, or pursuing your passion, or creating that worthy and meaningful purpose for your life. So if you have questions related to these, feel free to ask them in the comments, or you can directly message me through any one of my social media links which are in the write-ups attached to these videos. So yesterday I shared about how everyone is on our own journey and there's really no comparing yourself to another person and seeing that, hey, how come they're doing better than I am, and or in some cases maybe you're doing better than they are and you feel bad for them and you want to help them or something. There's nothing wrong with wanting to help them either, but I'm just saying you cannot compare yourself with another person because every single person is on their own journey. And sometimes you're going to get lucky breaks, sometimes you're going to be in the depths of despair for many, many years before you finally see the light and get a breakthrough. And that's just how the journey is. All we can do is every single day, we consistently take the action that we believe is best and right for us at that moment in time. And then, when we get the result that we want, we can look at what works. And when we don't get the result that we want, we can look at what didn't work and make adjustments and refine your plan and refine whatever it is that you need such that you can make that dream come true. And yesterday I shared briefly as well that it doesn't matter how fast or slow you want to walk your path, but the key thing is that you have to keep moving and you have to keep walking. Now, the speed thing, it really depends. So sometimes there are going to be instances in your life where you have built a certain momentum and things are moving very quickly. So then this is a time where you also want to match the speed at how things are going and make sure that you keep up. Because what happens if you're not able to keep up with the momentum is that you're going to fall behind and you're going to lose all that momentum that you have worked so hard to build up to. So for example, when you have done a lot of work towards your dream, you've put in the hours, you've put in the effort, you've done the right things, and suddenly it tips over and you get the overnight success or the sudden result that you have wanted, and that leads to more opportunities that come up, and there's a snowball effect basically. But if, let's say, you're not prepared for that and by the time you get to that point you're burnt out, then you're going to have a problem, because then you're not able to ride the momentum to keep things going in your dream. And this can happen sometimes if we push ourselves too hard to try to get there faster, and maybe you're pushing outside of the limits of your capacity. And of course I talk a lot about how it's great to push your limits, especially when it comes to our comfort zone. But when we're pushing the limits of our capacity, we want to make sure that we also put in time to recharge and to recollect yourself and to rest. Because when we're pushing limits, it takes a lot of energy. And sometimes if you keep that going for a long time, we could actually push past our limits, and then by the time you get the result that you want, you're completely burnt out. Then it kind of doesn't work as well. So there are going to be times where you need to move fast, there are going to be times where you need to slow down, and that's a very normal part of the journey. The key thing is that you want to keep moving. So then if you're looking at building, if let's say you're in the process now of putting in the effort and the energy and taking the action that you need such that you can reach that tipping point. So right now it might seem like you're just pushing this rock up a mountain, and it's not something that you can easily just stop, right? Because if you stop, that rock is going to start rolling backwards. So what you want to identify then is what is the minimum speed that you need to be moving at to keep that rock moving. So then what is the minimum action that you need to take on a consistent basis such that you keep going on that journey towards your dream. So once you establish what that minimum action is, that's something that is always gonna be there. Like you cannot go slower than that. So basically you're establishing what is the slowest speed that you can move at consistently that will still eventually get you to your dream. But of course we don't want to take our own sweet time every single time. At some point you want to move things along faster, and there's also going to be certain times where you have to move faster. Then you want to identify what those times are, and after that stretch is over, then you want to go back to a slower speed. So it's always about adjusting our speed as we go along, but the key thing is that you never stop moving. So even during the slow times, you're still moving at a minimum speed, and then during the times where you need to run faster, where you need to put in more effort and energy to push that rock up the hill, then you're able to have the energy and the resources and the strength to do that. And then after a spurt of, let's say, running up the hill while pushing the rock, you're going to have to slow down again so that you can catch your breath, so that you can recharge, so that things are easier on your abilities and your capacity, such that you can regain whatever it is that you need, so that you can continue later on when the next fast part of the journey comes along. If anything, this is kind of like a race with yourself, but it's not a race where you have to keep running and where you have to keep beating your highest score and where you have to keep pushing your capacity and pushing your limit every single time. So there are going to be times along the journey where you have to sprint, and there are going to be times along the journey where you have to crawl, and the key thing is that we always want to keep moving forward one step at a time. Sometimes you're going to be faster, sometimes you're going to be slower. That's a very normal part of the journey. Then the next thing is to figure out when are the times that you want to go faster, when are the times you need to slow down. And this is really up to you as an individual on that journey for you to decide in that moment, or maybe when you can look a few steps ahead, when would be a right time for you to speed up, when would be a right time for you to slow down. Again, it's a process of trial and error, so be patient with yourself, learn as you go along, and take action, and just keep checking in whether it's working or not, and make adjustments as you go on that journey. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, or you can directly message me through any one of my social media links which are in the write-ups attached to these videos. And if you like this video, subscribe to my channel on YouTube, or you can like my Facebook page, and I will see you tomorrow.